Hey guys! Welcome to Couple. Please like and subscribe if you like this video. The invitation-only breakfast at the Mandarin Oriental Hotel in Washington gathered 250 executives from the nation's largest electric utilities, assembled in a ballroom to meet with Scott Pruitt, who a month before had started his new job as chief of the Environmental Protection Agency. Mr. Pruitt had spent the previous 6 years as Oklahoma's Attorney General attacking EPA regulations in court, often in coordination with energy giants. Now he ran the agency, and he was ready to lay out his vision for the energy executives. Whoever said you can't have your cake and eat it too, doesn't know what to do with cake, Mr. Pruitt said, according to a speech prepared for the March 2017 event. Details from the breakfast, and dozens of other official appearances from Mr. Pruitt's scandal-plagued first year at the EPA, have until now been hidden from public view as a result of an extraordinary effort by Mr. Pruitt and his aides to maintain strict secrecy about the bulk of his daily schedule. But a new cache of emails covering most of Mr. Pruitt's first year heading the EPA shows that the agency's close control of his public events is driven more by a desire to avoid tough questions from the public than by concerns about security, contradicting Mr. Pruitt's long-standing defense of his secretiveness. The more than 10,000 documents, made public as part of a Freedom of Information lawsuit by the Sierra Club, an environmental organization, offer a look not only into many of Mr. Pruitt's appearances nationwide but into the agency's aggressive concealment of his activities as a public servant. The files show an agency focused on dividing people into friendly and unfriendly camps and which, on one occasion a secret visit to a Toyota plant became so focused on not disclosing information that his hosts expressed confusion about the publicity value of the visit. In another instance, planning what was billed as a town hall discussion for farmers in Iowa, the EPA emails show that the chief concern among Mr. Pruitt's top aides was to control who would actually be allowed to ask him questions. Ultimately, the agency scripted questions for Mr. Pruitt to answer from the stage. The security aspect is smoke and mirrors, said Kevin Chmielewski, Mr. Pruitt's former deputy chief of staff for operations, who is one of several former EPA officials who have said that they were fired or sidelined for disagreeing with Mr. Pruitt's management practices. He didn't want anybody to question anything, Mr. Chmielewski said, adding that Mr. Pruitt just doesn't understand what it's like to be a public figure. Mr. Pruitt testified before Congress last month that Mr. Chmielewski had resigned. 3 other current and former agency officials, who asked not to be identified because they still work for the government, expressed similar views.